This is Jennifer Steger, and I'm going to be doing a review of the Google Maps app for an Android device. We're going to start with an overall tour of the interface. The first page that you see is the splash page, also known as the loading page. This is the page you see when you first open the app. As you can see, it's a very minimal design. It's very clean and neat looking. It gives the impression that it's a very easy to use interface. And then you go to the main page, and as you can see, it shows your current location, and then it gives suggested destinations based on previous uses. Now we're going to start going over some of the features that are on the main page here. In the upper left hand corner, you'll see the little hamburger icon. Upon clicking that, it takes you to the hamburger menu. It shows you profile information and some preferences. This is going to be where you see things like tips and tricks, settings, help, feedback, terms of services. They also have some options for traffic, public transit, bicycling. Then they show satellite layers like satellite, terrain, and there's an option to go to Google Earth. There's also downloaded maps that you can download for offline viewing. You can just start driving for live traffic information. This is really all of the stuff that you can do on the app is also included in this main menu right here. Alright, going back to the main page again. At the top you'll see there is a search bar for you can search for like nearby locations, directions, anything like that. You can either type or you can do voice search as well by touching the little microphone in the upper right hand corner. Now we're going to go down to the bottom. On the bottom left hand side you'll see the little GPS marker icons. And when you click that, it shows key things around you, like restaurants, gas stations, stores, and other points of interest that you can click on the icons to bring it up to see what's around you. It would also give you suggestions based on what time of day it is. Like, for example, in my screenshot, it's around lunchtime, so it showed me really good options for lunches that were around me that had good reviews. Alright, going back to the main page, we're going to go to the next icon beside that, which is the vehicle icon or the car icon. When you click that one, it brings up a menu where you can search for directions. You can enter your home address, your work address, you can see the traffic conditions in your area, and if you don't need directions, you can just click start driving and that'll give you real-time traffic info as you're driving without any directions. If you go back to the main page one more time and you click the little bus icon next to the car icon, it brings up public transit options like bus routes and things like that. Where I live, there's no options for that. I'm kind of out in the sticks, so don't really have public transit around here. But going back to the main page, there's only one more little button to click, and that is this little icon button on the bottom right hand side. And when you bring that up, all it is different map layers like bicycling, satellite, and terrain, and that just shows the different type of layers that you can see over your map. Alright, now we're going to dive into specific navigation to show you individual pages and what all you need to enter in each page in order to interact with the app itself. So from the main page, as I mentioned earlier, if you click the navigational icon, it shows points of interest around you. I just chose the first thing that popped up. It happened to be the Coyote Drive-In Theater and Canteen, which is about 10 minutes away from my house. I figured this would be an easy one to show an example of how the app works. So I chose my destination by clicking the little box that pops up right there. And then when you click that, it shows more information about it, some reviews, the hours, and about how far away it is. In order to go to the navigation, you just click where it says 10 minutes, and then the navigation window pops up. Now, if the location settings are turned on your phone, you don't need to enter anything manually, so there's no entering of your address or anything like that. You can, however, enter your address if you would like, but it does it for you if location's already turned on. So all you have to do is click the little start button down there. Now, before you actually hit start, you can actually swipe up on this little part where it says 10 minutes, 5.2 miles. If you swipe up the bottom of the screen, it will show you an overview of the directions turn by turn before you even start to give you an idea of where you're going. And then if you hit the blue button that says start, it will start the navigation for you. To begin with, it tells you if there's any possible issues with what you're doing. For example, it told me that they would not be open until 5:30 p.m., but I could still continue if I wanted to, or I could exit at that point. The interesting thing that most people don't know about this app, however, is if you click the top bar, the green bar, a little arrow pops up that you can see down here on the bottom. And if you click the arrow, it opens up a preferences window for your trip where you can share trip progress. You can search along your route as to what is around you. You can look at the directions turn by turn again. You can show traffic on map, show the satellite map, as well as view settings for the app itself. And it'll go through turn by turn until you actually get to your destination. And then a window pops up. For this particular one, it says Bon Appetit and shows the name of the place and where you are, how long it took you to get there. Um, and it gives you an option, which is really interesting. It gives you an option to continue your wayfinding by walking the rest of the way from the parking lot, and it will show you where to walk as well. And also, you can save your location so you won't be losing that parking spot, and you can easily find your way back to the parking lot without having to use your panic button. And down at the bottom, there's an option for leaving feedback on your navigation. It asks how satisfied with your navigation experience are you, thumbs up or thumbs down, and it'll go to a window for that. When you click done, it will go back to the main page, except for your current location will now be updated to the Coyote Drive-In Theater and Canteen, or wherever you navigated to. And that is pretty much how the app works. So, in conclusion, we had some questions that we needed to answer. Is the app easy or hard to use? I personally find it very easy to use, especially if you have location turned on in your phone. You don't have to enter any addresses unless you would just choose to do so to look up directions to somewhere else other than where you are. Um, any changes I would like to see in the app? The only thing that really bugs me is the in navigation preferences, how you can choose all the different stuff while you're driving to the place. To me, that's a safety concern. If you're a passenger, it doesn't really make a difference. You're not texting and driving. If you're driving, you don't need to be pulling up that menu trying to change stuff in the middle of your navigation, so I don't really care for that. Um, and if you're unfamiliar with the app, when you first open it, there's a tiny amount of feature cram with all the different buttons and all the different menus, trying to figure out what's where. It can be overwhelming. However, this is an app I'm familiar with and I use a lot, so to me, it's very easy at this point. Are there any helpful design choices that the designers made? I particularly like the color blocks in the navigation input. First, they're blue, and then when you enter the navigation starting and destination points, it changes to green to show you what to go to. Those are very pleasant shades of blues and green. It's not overwhelming. It's just a nice splash of color. Um, the information hierarchy within the app itself is very easy to understand. It makes it very pleasant to view and figure out what's what. The icons were easy to understand. There's no question as to what anything is when it comes to the icons. And there's a great use of white space in the app itself. There's not very much color, there's plenty of space around each element. The buttons are easy to click. There's not a whole lot crammed onto each screen. It makes it very clean and easy to use. All right, so with that, I would like to thank you for putting up with 9 minutes of a review of this app. Have a great night.